historic hospitality
Shout, up with your song.
presents for you
The dawn is breaking. March, march,
Ethel Smyth.
you along. White goes our banner and hope is waking. Song with its story, dreams with their glory. Lo, they call, and glad is the word. Louder its words. Thunder of freedom, the voice of the Lord. Long, long we in the past, cowered in dread for the light of heaven. Strong, strong stand we at last, fearless in faith and with sight new given. Strength with its beauty, life with its duty, in our voice for him.
A symphony of courage. In a world brimming with rhythm and melody, there are those whose lives become a symphony, a vibrant tapestry of passion, determination and boundless creativity. Join me on a journey through time and sound as we explore the life and legacy of a remarkable individual whose name echoes through the halls of history. Someone who, with other notable figures of the suffragette movement, spent many a time in this room. We're reminded of the power of music to uplift and inspire. In the heart of this melody lies the story of an extraordinary composer, a trailblazer who dared to defy convention and carve her own path in a world dominated by tradition. Through the lens of her life, we discover the harmonies of resilience and the cadences of courage, from humble beginnings to soaring heights. Her journey is a testament to the transformative power of art and the indomitable spirit of the human soul. When we think of composers, many male names will come to the forefront, but let's not forget Ethel Smyth. So let's embark on a musical odyssey, a celebration of her creativity, innovation, and the timeless allure of her melodies. Get ready to be swept away by the symphony of Ethel Smyth's life and the melody that continues to resonate across generations today, inspiring us to embrace the beauty of our own unique composition. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Great to have your support. If you're returning, thank you for coming back. Let's look back then at one of the names that might not be so prominent in history for many of the general public. Well, she was a pioneering composer and suffragette who made significant contributions to both music and the women's rights movements. Smyth's life story offers a compelling narrative of talent, determination and activism, making her a captivating figure to explore on the screen. As a composer, Smyth broke barriers in a very male-dominated field, producing a diverse body of work that included operas, orchestral pieces, chamber music and all kinds. Her compositions were innovative and highly regarded, earning her recognition and acclaim throughout the whole of Europe. In addition to her musical achievements, Smyth was deeply involved in women's suffrage. She joined the Women's Social and Political Union, known as the WSPU, and became very close friends with prominent suffragettes like Emmeline Pankhurst. Now, if you want to know more about Emmeline Pankhurst, I have done a documentary. Go check that out on my channel. Smyth's commitment to the cause was reflected in her activism, including participation in protests, hunger strikes, and getting arrested for her beliefs. Smyth's dual legacy as both a trailblazing composer and a passionate advocate for women's rights offers a rich tapestry of achievement through adversity. From her struggles against gender discrimination in the music industry to fearless activism on behalf of women's suffrage, Smyth's story is one of courage, resilience and artistic excellence. I like this story and what she did because the resilience is there and it comes along with my old singing adage where I used to be a singer. I think it's a nice story to tell. By delving into Smyth's life and work, I hope to shed some light on her lasting impact on the music industry and also feminism, inspiring audiences to appreciate her contributions and continue to fight for equality and social justice. The part where I butcher foreign names because I can't pronounce them, so I apologise. I am trying my best. Ethel Smyth was born on the 22nd of April 1858 in Sidcup, Kent, here in England. She grew up in a prosperous Victorian household with her parents, a father who was a Major General in the Royal Artillery and a mother who was a singer and pianist. So we can see where the resilience and the organisation met the talent and came together in her. Smyth received a privileged upbringing with access to education and cultural experiences from a very young age. But despite her family's support, Smyth faced challenges in pursuing her passion for music. Societal norms of the time restricted women's access to formal musical training and more so professional opportunities. However, her determination and talent propelled her forward. Smyth's interest in music was sparked at a very early age, and she began composing her own music as a young child. She received informal music lessons from her mother and later attended the world-famous Leipzig Conservatory in Germany. This is where she studied composition and counterpoint with notable composers such as Karl Reineck and Heinrich von Herzogenberg. Maybe? I don't know. We'll try. So the Leipzig Conservatory, officially known as the Royal Conservatory of Music in Leipzig, it was founded in 1843 by Felix Mendelssohn Bartholdy, a renowned composer and also a conductor. It quickly gained international recognition as one of the leading music schools throughout Europe, attracting students and faculty from around the world. The conservatory played a pivotal role in the development of classical music, nurturing talents such as Clara Schumann, Edvard Grieg and Gustav Mahler, among many others. Its progressive approach to music and education, its emphasis on performance and commitment to innovation made it a hub of musical excellence. Throughout its history, the Leipzig Conservatory has left an indelible mark along the world of music, shaping careers of countless musicians and composers, contributing to the rich tapestry of musical heritage. It's sad to note, but while at the Leipzig Conservatory, Smyth faced discrimination and much scepticism from her male peers and instructors, who doubted her abilities as a composer due to her gender. Despite these many obstacles, Smyth persevered and continued to develop her skills as an almighty composer. Progression. After completing her studies, Smyth returned to England and began her career as a professional composer. She gained recognition for her compositions, including her opera Fantasio and a Mass in D major, which was also performed at the Royal Albert Hall in London. This was indeed a highlight of her impressive career owing to the prestige of this venue. The Royal Albert Hall, one of London's most iconic landmarks, was opened in 1871 by Queen Victoria. This was in memory of her beloved husband, Prince Albert, who had died in 1861. Here is the Royal Albert Hall for anyone that hasn't seen it. It is worldwide and renowned. Designed by Captain Francis Folk and Major General Henry Y.D. Scott, the hall was intended to serve as a venue for various forms of entertainment, including concerts, exhibitions and public gatherings. Since its inception, the Royal Albert Hall has hosted countless prestigious events, cementing its status as a cultural institution of global renown. Her evolving life. Ethel Smyth's involvement in the Women's Social and Political Union was influenced by her personal beliefs and also her experiences as a woman in Victorian and Edwardian society. While there may not be a single catalyst for her involvement, Smyth's deep-seated commitment to gender equality and social justice drove her to join the suffrage movement. Smyth's friendship with prominent suffragettes such as Emmeline Pankhurst also played a significant role in her decision to become actively involved in the WSPU itself. Pankhurst, a leading figure in the suffrage movement, inspired Smyth, and her passion for advocacy for women's rights and her fearless approach to activism. In addition to her activism, Smyth's personal life included romantic relationships, although she never had an official marriage at any time. It's important to note she had a long-term relationship / companionship with Emmeline Pankhurst's daughter Christabel. They shared the commitments together to the suffrage cause. Ethel Smyth was known to have romantic relationships with women. So while the term lesbian may not have been used in the same way during Smyth's lifetime as it is today, her relationships with women were significant aspects of her personal life and contributed to her identity as a woman and an activist. Ethel Smyth's relationship with Christabel Pankhurst, the daughter of Emmeline, is documented in various historical sources, including letters, diaries, and also in some biographies. While the precise nature of the relationship may vary depending on interpretation of the sources, there is ample evidence to suggest that Smyth and Pankhurst were romantically involved. One primary source of evidence is Smyth's own writings, including her autobiography and correspondence where she frequently references her close relationship with Christabel. Additionally, biographies of both Smyth and the Pankhurst families often discuss their relationship in detail, drawing on archival materials and first-hand accounts. While some historians may interpret Smyth and Pankhurst relationships differently based on the available evidence, it is widely acknowledged that they shared a deep bond, and they were both partners in personal lives and activism for women's rights. And way back in 1885, the United Kingdom Criminal Law Amendment Act criminalised acts between men, but not women. A popular legend claims that a flustered Queen Victoria struck references to lesbianism from the act because she refused to believe ladies did such things. This, of course, nonsense. Sex may not have been openly spoken about, but one only has to thumb through such 19th century erotic fictions as The Adventures of Grace and Anna, School Life in Paris and The Pearl to know that the Victorians were well aware ladies definitely did such things. A remarkable woman who seems to have been aware of her own sexuality from a very young age. She quoted, "I wonder why it is so much easier for me to love my own sex than yours." She wrote this in 1892. Smyth was clearly besotted with Emmeline Pankhurst, writing she conceived an ardent affection for her on their very first meeting. In her book, Female Pipings in Eden, 1934, Smyth not only hints that they were lovers, but also suggests the reason for the rift between Emmeline Pankhurst and her daughter Sylvia was caused because Sylvia had male lovers and will never be an Amazon. While Smyth did not have any children of her own, her dedication to the suffrage movement and her contributions to the advancement of women's rights has left a long-lasting legacy. As Smyth grew older, she continued to be active in both music and activism. She composed prolifically and remained engaged in political and social issues, advocating for causes such as pacifism and prison reform, which she would know because she spent several times in prison. Smyth's later years were marked by her enduring commitment to her principles and her unwavering dedication to making a positive impact around the world and everyone around her. Ethel Smyth was made a Dame, Commander of the Order of the British Empire, which was known as the DBE, later on in 1922, in recognition of her contributions to music and also women's rights. To be made a Dame is an honourable title bestowed by the British monarch. This was for exceptional service and achievement in various fields. Smyth's appointment as a Dame marked a significant milestone within her career. Ethel Smyth sadly passed away on May the 8th, 1944 at the age of 86 down in Woking, Surrey. Despite facing challenges and obstacles throughout her life and career, Smyth's legacy as a pioneering composer and suffragette endures, inspiring generations to come with passion, courage and unwavering commitment to justice and equality. Ethel Smyth's greatest achievements within music spanned a wide range of genres and compositions, but there were many standout accomplishments. Just to name a few, her operas. Smyth composed several operas throughout her career, including The Wreckers in 1906, The Boatswain's Mate in 1914 and The Prison in 1930. These operas showcase Smyth's talent for dramatic storytelling and innovative musical techniques. She did much for concert music. Smyth composed numerous orchestral works, chamber music pieces and choral compositions. These were performed in concert halls throughout Europe, and some of her most notable works include the Mass in D Major of 1891, On the Cliffs of Cornwall 1904 and the String Quartet in E Minor of 1902. Smyth wrote many songs throughout her career, including vocal pieces, often setting poetry by poets such as Christina Rossetti and Emily Dickinson to music. Her songs explored themes of love, nature and social justice, showcasing her versatility as a composer. As for the one we all know and played at the start of this, March of the Women, it was composed by Ethel in 1910 and became an anthem for the women's suffrage movement in Britain. It's since been played all over the world as one of the most recognisable songs of triumph. Smyth was inspired to write the march while imprisoned for her suffragette activities, using the time to compose music on the margins of her prison cell walls. The lyrics of the march were written by Cicely Hamilton. The March of the Women was first performed at a suffragette rally in London's Royal Albert Hall in 1911. Its rousing melody and powerful lyrics became quickly associated with the suffragette movement, serving as a rallying cry for women seeking the right to vote. The march was highly successful in galvanising support for the suffrage cause and became a symbol of strength and solidarity. It's very easy to see why. I personally loved the melody, loved the music, it's all great. It was sung at numerous suffragette rallies, protests and events throughout Britain, helping to mobilise activists and garner public attention for the movement, and it did an amazing job. Even today, it's recognisable. The legacy of March of the Women is profound, enduring far beyond the suffrage movement itself. Ethel Smyth's composition has left an indelible mark on history, serving as a reminder of the power of music to inspire change and unite communities in the pursuit of justice. Blue plaques or monuments dedicated to Ethel Smyth can be found at several locations associated with her life and her work. Here are a few notable examples. It's a wonderful testament to her enduring impact and serves as a reminder of her pioneering spirit and dedication to social justice. This lady should not be forgotten because she achieved so much in the face of adversity. So let's look back and not forget one of the best composers and maybe not the most publicised throughout our history as human beings. Blue plaques and monuments dedicated to Ethel Smyth can be found at several locations associated with her life and her work. A few notable examples are Smyth's childhood home. A blue plaque commemorating Ethel Smyth's birthplace can be found at a childhood home in Sidcup, Kent. This plaque marks the place where she was born and spent her formative years. Also at Woking Cemetery, Smyth's ashes were interred at Woking Cemetery in Surrey, England. There may not be a specific plaque or monument here dedicated to her, but it is a significant location of her life and legacy. The notorious Holloway Prison. Smyth was imprisoned multiple times for her suffragette activities, including this prison. While there may not also be a plaque or monument dedicated to her, it is notably associated to her activism and sacrifice. There is a worthwhile place to visit, and that is an Ethel Smyth sculpture by Christine Charlesworth, and it is indeed a notable tribute to Smith's legacy. Located in Frimley Green in Surrey, the sculpture commemorates Smith's contributions to music and women's rights. So I'd like to say once again, thank you very much for joining me on this documentary. I appreciate everybody's support. If you wouldn't mind, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget there are other Suffragette features on the channel and more coming very soon. Also, Edwardian Victorian histories on food, people, technology, it's all going on. And if you're really interested, I also do a narrowboat living vlog. This is my narrowboat, currently in Manchester, delayed, moving back to London. So join me again in the next one. Thank you very much, take care, and see you soon.